Hey, what's going on, Golferos? Welcome back. This is episode 10 of the Salud Golferos podcast. Really excited because it's going to be a really fun episode. We're bringing it back to kind of the origins of where some of our original podcast ideas came from. Um, Back in the day, Los Golferos, we used to meet weekly, just like this, over a Teams chat, and just crazy shenanigans and crazy conversations would come up. And so, yeah, we needed to start recording those. So tonight with me, we got the mad scientist Hex. We got Raul. What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Chilling, brother. How's everything with you?
Oh, got my little traguito here, ready for a good combo with you guys. So, living life.
Everything's good here too. Yeah, I got my
I,
trago too.
I thought you were drinking just because of the fucking horrendous draft, dude. What the fuck was up with the draft today, man?
Bro, that
Everything was like so like basic as fuck, dude.
You know what I was happy for? It's funny. It's happy because I have a coworker with me traveling with me, and obviously he's from Denver, and he's a sick Denver fan, and he's like, I hope they don't pick this motherfucker. And sure enough, they picked that motherfucker, and I was like, yes, fuck him. Like, I don't know too much about him, but if you don't like him, I'm glad they picked him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bo Nix. That was
Bo Nix.
Oh,
Yeah.
bro, yeah.
Well,
Dude, I put it in our.
that Barstool meme I sent you says it all. Those two trash cans just floating down the street, dude.
Hey,
Well, dude, that was so funny.
What?
I was gonna say it's so funny because Raul sent that. He sent this video of these trash cans flooding down the street. And
I'll
like
send
a
it
few
to you.
minutes a few minutes before he sent that, I was like, dude, what's up with Denver? They basically just carbon copy their old pick of Drew Lock. I was like,
Yeah.
it's the same
Not
guy.
only, I mean, no, not only that, he's pretty much the same he's a mirror image of Russell Wilson. You know,
Yeah.
from highlights I've seen, it's like he's a mirror image of Russell Wilson and shit. It's like, so, and this is what I was trying to make it feel better. Like, listen, dude, Sean Payne, he's a good coach. He's done it before. He did this for a reason. So don't. But secretly, I was like, yeah, fuck the Broncos.
No offense to all the Denver fans out there, but fuck the
Yeah.
Broncos.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, the Broncos only, not Denver. Just
I'm about to say because you're on Denver a
listen,
lot, Hex, so
if people don't know, I know, no, believe me, bro. They always talk shit about me. But
They're gonna see you in the streets. They're gonna want to jump your ass.
They're gonna see me on the golf course. They're gonna try to fucking take a club to my head and shit. But just so everybody can know, I'm a Chargers fan. So obviously, I'm an AFC West. So being that Broncos are in my division, it's like fuck them. And then the same thing when I'm in Kansas. Fuck Kansas City too. And if I'm in Vegas, it's like, fuck the Raiders. Like, fuck them all. Like, why do I gotta like them? I don't have to like none of them. They can all eat a dick.
Oh, man.
this episode will be marked explicit, guys. So.
That's an understatement.
I might get banned again.
No.
I might get super censored again.
Super sensitive. No, so for people tuning in, and if you didn't listen to our episode with Safe Par, when we did our very first episode, we actually did it at Raul's house, very similar to what we actually have aired. But Hex was on the original episode 1. We have a ghost episode out there, and great episode, great conversation. But yeah, Hex definitely let a few things fly.
Blame it on the alcohol.
On the alcohol. Blame it on the round of golf. All the alcohol drank during the round, and then yeah, we definitely kept sipping once we got to Raul. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we
it's
killed
been,
the whole bottle. We
Yeah.
killed the whole bottle at Raul's house. So we started a bottle. No, so we had beers on the course, and we started a bottle. And I might be mistaken, but I think we killed the second bottle by the time we got to Raul's house.
it was pretty much gone now.
yeah,
Yeah,
'cause
right.
Serge
Two
brought a
bottles.
bottle out for the round,
Yeah.
which we killed, and then we had a
Which-
bottle at Raul. Raul busted
At
out a bottle.
Raul's.
Yeah,
And we killed.
and there was
So-
beers.
Yeah, so it was good times overall.
Yeah,
That was a great ghost episode. I'm sorry y'all can't see it, but
yeah, and it's I don't know what happened, and Raul just dropped off. But he'll
I don't
come
know
right
what
back.
happened to Raul.
Yeah.
Bro just got lost.
It sucks, bro, because like it wasn't even that bad that like I had to censor you. It was just like I lost the file. I don't know what happened. The
No,
file
no,
got
no,
lost.
no,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, no, it sucks because you could have edited out those moments. I'm sure you would
Yeah.
have. You
Yeah, I
would have
would have.
edited those moments out. But because they were stupid moments. They were just me just being obnoxious and shit.
Yeah. Just guys
But
being
yeah,
guys.
but but the file got lost. I mean, you can't say nothing.
It
Yeah,
is
well,
what
It,
it is,
it,
bro.
that's
But
what
hey,
it
man,
is.
that's what our rounds of golf are, man. Like we just get out there, cut loose, have some drinks. It's a good time.
yeah,
Which is
good times.
everybody's round of golf, right?
No, and it's funny
You've seen
because
some hardos though, dude. Come on. We I think we've
Yeah.
all come across the hardos where they swear that they're in the PGA tour. Like, bro,
yeah,
relax.
yeah,
Bro,
It's
they're
not
scratch
about that.
golfers. They're about to make it to a Corn Ferry event or some sort of
yeah.
qualifier. Yeah.
They're
No,
corny as
but
fuck, but
But what's funny is that that day that we were golfing, right? It was we were doing Sergio. It was Sergio's idea, and I was just like, I'm gonna include myself because we kind of share the same week birthday, motherfucker. So
Yeah.
we're doing our thing, and we were shit talking, and you weren't recording, and I'm like, Mike, bring out the fucking camera. These are the fucking things you got to record. Like,
Yeah.
you see this shit talking that's going on right here, and I pulled myself away from the shit talking while it was going on. And I'm like, you gotta record this, bro. This is the raw shit that people need to see. Like, this is how we are. You know what I mean? And you're like, oh, okay, fuck it. And you started recording some of it. And honestly, I think those are the best moments, in my opinion, when we're just chit-chatting back and forth, and one conversation leads to another, and it escalates to another, and obviously there's a whole bunch of fucking shit talking going on in the meantime. But those are, in my opinion, I'm like, that's what people need to see, that this is who we are. We're not just trying to fucking get the best score out there. We're not just trying to do this or trying to floss our clothes or whatnot. No, we're just out there having fun. And like Raul said early on, for me and him, this was our fucking therapy. And part of that therapy is all the shit talking that goes on that's so raw, and having fun and just laughing so hard that when you get home, you're like, God damn, I had such a good day. I want to do it again next week. And you start
and dude,
texting your buddies, let's do it again, let's do
Yeah.
it again, like that type
and,
of shit.
and you're spot on with that because a lot of time I think people think like, hey, when we say like, hey, this is our therapy, it's not like you're gonna go fucking like, hey, woe is me, the sky's falling, Chicken Little type of shit.
Cry on somebody's
Sometimes just
shoulder.
Ah,
yeah, like look, there could definitely be shit like that. No problem
yeah,
with that. But
no, yeah. And
part of it
there
is like,
has been times.
oh, without
Yeah,
a doubt, we've had some interesting conversations, but I think a lot of it has to do. It's like we bust our asses Monday through Friday as our professional lives and our husbandly duties and our parental duties and all that stuff for a lot of us that have families. And it's just like, dude, go just separate yourself from all that stuff and be a guy with the boys, just freaking enjoy it. Like it doesn't have to be so uptight. And I think that's what I kind of like about the new version of golf, if you will, because I've kind of
Yeah.
seen both sides of the world. I was earlier, like early 2000, and you still were very, button up and reserved type of thing. And it's little by little, it's been kind of opening up where you can just go have fun and have a good time. It's not as freaking big deal as some people make it out to be. Like, dude, just relax.
Dude, that's so
hey,
true. And it's like I feel
do I,
like oh go for it, hey.
no, go ahead,
I was
sorry.
gonna say off of that what Raul's saying, like when he says like being so buttoned up and everything, like I feel like when I picked up golf and I started, I was like, dude, I gotta rock the polo, I gotta have the pants, I gotta have I gotta be like, nice and dressed up. But like recently, dude, like I've my last like 2 or 3 rounds, I've just gone out in a t-shirt. And because I have
Well,
courses out here that are chill like that, and that's the vibe for that course.
There,
So it's
look,
Fucking bomb.
there's definitely a line. Like Hex and I have been to courses. Where was it? Was it in Valencia where they fucking did it? Was it Carlos who they didn't let him on without a no collared shirt? And he was like,
Yeah,
"What the fuck?" And I was like,
yeah.
"Hey,
yeah.
bro, you gotta show
So
up at
even
least in a
even
polo."
even even a muni like that one didn't let him on with the fucking without a fucking college. And then
Collar.
not only that, I've had instances in the same fucking course where my nephew just just brought a small bag with 3 clubs because that's all he had at the time, and they made
Hmm.
him rent some because he was not
Really?
allowed with less he was not allowed with less than 5 clubs, and all he had was 4 at the time. And so there are, there's some places that are still like that and shit that are pretty strict to the old school rules and shit.
Yeah.
But to follow up on what or when you, like you say, you started golfing and you thought, first thing was lugs. Not for me. And I don't know how Raul feels about it. For me, it was more, I actually got into it and I wanted to golf, and it was more about how I was trying to teach myself how to golf. And then but then I started seeing all these motherfuckers like, oh, these motherfuckers are rocking some sick shit. I need to step up my game. I need some new shoes. I'm like, I can't just roll up in fucking regular fucking tennis shoes and shit, So I got, so I started stepping up my game slowly, little by little. Now literally I can't go anywhere without it being fucking anything related to golf. So I go to a quinceañera, it's a golf polo. Like, it's like half. No, I'm not. That's even stupid to say that half my wardrobe. Majority, I want to say 90% of my fucking wardrobe is golf related, and I even wear like some of the tech pants that are like golf tech pants. Like I bring them to work. Like that's I go out on business trips and shit, and because they look like they're slacks, but they look like modern slacks. And they're so fucking comfortable. They're chill, So, like, so I it's like it's literally I could go from a business meeting or business trip and right onto the fucking golf course, like so. That changed, that evolved with me because at the time it wasn't like that for me. It was mostly I was just trying to teach myself how to fucking play the game and how to swing my club and not fucking end up breaking a window somewhere over there.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely the evolution, right? Because like you're just like, let me get the basics. You're gonna come out there like with whatever you found and whatever was cheapest, whatever was in your budget. But then like you said, you start seeing things. You're like, ooh, I want that. Like let me, like I always wanted to play in like the sporty golf shoes, like the Nike ones and stuff like that. But I just this past year I flipped back to the FootJoys, like some traditional like wingtip style like shoes, because I think that looks clean and simple. I like it, and the style changes, bro. Like,
it depends. I mean, like it depends on the round. I'm gonna say that. Like if you go play like just casual type of thing, I'm still gonna rock the Air Max 1 Nike golf shoes. But if we go to some of these events, I mean, I'd rather honestly wear my FootJoys. I mean, if you're actually playing a little bit more serious, look, I love my Nike gear. I think we've talked about this even when we had the conversation with Dom. The sneakerhead part of it is still there, but like honestly, most of the Nike golf shoes lately have been subpar to say the least.
They have been. Yeah, I mean they've kind of evolved slowly, if you want to say that. Like there was a good amount of Nike golf shoes that were hot. Hey, by the way, should I turn off this light behind me? I don't know if you guys have an issue with that.
Nah, you're good, bro.
Because I'm over here trying to shoulder that fucking light.
Nah,
so back to what I was saying, like, so early on, like Raul said, I was Nike, I got this Nike one, that Nike one, but then we were out in I can't remember where the fuck we were in Altadena. We were out in an event, a charity event, and I want to say it was Heart of Gold. I think it was Heart of Gold. And Cruz rolls up, and Cruz at the time when I met him, big ups to Cruz. He was dressed like us. And then he rolls up to that event, and this was wearing some fucking FootJoys, some wingtip FootJoys, and he was like fucking sharp. So I was like, yo, this ninja looks like a fucking adult. He looks like an adult. I was like, this motherfucker looks like an adult, like straight up golfing adult. And we're over here in fucking, looking like bums and shit compared to the way he would. So I'm like, when I saw Cruz that day at that Altadena tournament, I was like,
he raised your bar. You're like,
yeah, he did. No, I'm joking. I saw him and I was like, yo, that looks sharp as fuck, and I want to do that. So I started switching up. I started buying pants. I started buying different type of polos and shit. And then I had an interest in these wingtips, and I guess my son heard about it, and he got me my first wingtips, and I was like, these are fucking fly. And again, it's part of the evolution of us in golfing and shit, where a lot of it has to do with your game, but at the same time, you also kind of want to look sharp at the same time. You don't want to look like a bum out there and shit.
Yeah.
It's-
Oh, Hex. Guys, this is why we love having Hex on the pod. It's tough to get him on sometimes because he's always traveling. Like, where are you at right now, Hex? Let the people know.
I'm in Oregon right now. I'm, Oregon.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
south. I'm about 2 hours south of Portland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, right on. No, dude. No, dude. That's why I'm excited about this episode because, like, whenever we can get you on, it's freaking awesome, dude. Like you and Lalo on that Lay Low episode, the Nueve Golf episode. You guys,
Yeah.
dude. When you were just like you were saying, so the callers want to know. I'm like, bro, we're a podcast. We don't have callers. What are you talking about?
I didn't say college. I said the fans want to know.
The fans want to
The
know.
fans. And you called me out, and then you called me out, so I had to bro, I got the messages right here, and I pulled my phone out. Yeah, they were my questions, but I just want to know.
Yeah,
I'm sure everybody wants to know. If they
Yeah.
follow us, they want to know. I'm asking these questions for everybody else.
Yeah. I respect it. Yeah, I can't be the only one asking questions, so I like it. Nah. But yeah, guys, we're on episode 10 now of the podcast. So this is kind of like a nice point to kind of like reflect back. We were talking about how this is kind of where the idea spawned from, having these conversations, but now we get to broaden these conversations out to other people. So we've had, guests like Camila, Cesar, Lalo, and many more. I don't want to, miss anybody, but
Just
of what
recently
we've
with
done so
Donald.
far. Yeah, with Don, we just sat down with Don. I don't want to say what's your favorite, but what's one of the episodes that like really has stuck out to you so far? Like, what have you liked about what we've been doing with the pod? Raul, I'll go to you since Hex has been dominating the call so far. No, I'm just kidding.
My bad.
Nah, dude.
Nah, I'm just messing with you, brother.
Honestly, I can't say I have a favorite episode yet. Not in a negative way, but every conversation has a little bit. It has a different vibe. Lalo, I mean, has been amazing just because he's part of the culture. I really like the one you did over at Unicor with Nelson Tacos at the Turn. That was a really good episode, even though I wasn't able to be there live. So that was a really cool one. Just how you can change the different vibe with Camila, that was really awesome. Even though it was in my own house, I wasn't available to show up. But I think everything has a different type of vibe. Even the one we're doing today, where it's just we might be shooting the shit, but it's how we started. I mean, this is kind of back what you said. It's kind of like the origin, and part of essentially where it kind of connects to the brand. Like, why did this brand start? Where did we kind of got this idea for it, and where we're still trying to move this brand over to this little subculture that we're creating in golf. But a lot of it has to do with what we kind of just talked about a little bit, how you feel, how you dress, how you represent out on the golf course. And it's kind of an interesting one. I like, before we got started, we are talking about like, damn, the Masters is already 2 weeks.
Mhm.
But this was kind of a interesting Masters because you have the whole the infamous Malbon golf vest.
Bro. Yeah, that was crazy. The fact they made him take it off.
Yeah, it was like, was it a little much? Yeah, but like, bro, come on. I mean, it was throwback, old school kind of a vest. I mean, like I've seen worse,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the Masters. I get it. I also see that, but it's just one of those things where it's like, it's not the same golf of the yesteryear. I mean, I don't know. I know you guys don't geek out as much as I do about streetwear and all that stuff, but did you guys see this week? Aimé Leon Dior just announced their golf division.
No, really? Oh
Yeah.
shoot.
So
Dang.
Aimé Leon Dior, for people that are not in the know when it comes to streetwear, has been a little bit more upscale streetwear. They've done some great collaborations with New Balance. Fan of their stuff. Actually, I have a pair of what they did with New Balance. But yeah, I was really surprised. And the funny thing is the way they announced it on Instagram. I do like the way they did it. It was the infamous, now I guess classic image of Michael Jordan back in the day cleaning his golf clubs. So he's just sitting in front of a bucket, just kind of scrubbing his golf clubs when he was really big into it, and they kind of recreated that. So it's kind of a cool little homage of them launching the Amélie Dior golf brand or golf line.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, this was high fashion streetwear, and all of a sudden they're into golf. So it's kind of interesting how we're seeing now, maybe the way we're kind of seeing it, streetwear evolving into golf wear. So a couple
Yeah.
different
So you
things that are
said,
coming down the pipeline.
so you're saying we're gonna get some Yeezys on the golf course?
Well, dude,
Oh,
no, he's
no,
too busy
please.
trying to start his porn studio. I don't know if you guys saw that one.
Yeah.
I stopped caring about what Kanye did years ago.
Oh, bro, no.
All I know
dude,
is that all I know
am
is he
dead
wants
serious.
to fuck with Michelle Obama or some shit like that.
Dude, I am dead serious. Look it up. Look it up yesterday. Apparently, he, of all things, him and Stormy Daniels' ex-husband are launching Yeezy Studios. So, I would give him props if he goes Osco and just puts a studio out here in the San Fernando Valley. If he goes into Chatsworth,
Oh,
I'll give him
gosh.
props, dude. Boogie night status, dude.
Yeah, Chatsworth, Granada Hills, of course.
So it would, but again, that I digress. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But there's a lot of interesting things that are coming down the pipeline, and for better or for worse, I know the purists of the game are not loving the thing that that happened in the Masters, and all these underground brands or street oriented fashion houses now getting into the game of golf. So it'll be interesting to see in the next couple of months, years, what it's in store.
Yeah.
Well, I just feel like the sport has gotten a lot more popular since COVID. I mean, I want to say
Without a doubt.
been doubled in popularity since COVID. So you get random people, you get rappers that are into the sport and now they want to throw their own clothing line out there. Like, there's a couple out there that I could think of. I'm not gonna name them, but there's a couple that I could think of that have golf, and they're, rappers. Like, okay, that's cool that you're a golfer, but now you're throwing out your golf. And don't get me wrong, some of the shit is fly. A lot of that shit is fly. I mean, think of one. Again, I'm not gonna fucking name them just because we're not getting sponsored. So
I've seen some
them.
corny shit though too, man. Honestly,
I have
I've seen some really
corny shit.
corny shit.
And I'll say some of the corny shit too. I'll name them out, but I don't want to do that. It's probably best that I don't.
The bad part about, look, to the point you bring up, Hex, my concern is that who's in it because of it's something to them, or who's in it to make a quick buck because it's a new trend.
Yeah.
And I think go for it, dude.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, to that point that you just said, I really can't hate that. Yes, you could call it out. Like, is it just because at a certain point in our lives, or at least a certain point in my life, it was a trend. I don't know if I was gonna get into it or not. It was a trend, and I'm talking about before the Golferos. So, it's just their mentality at the point, and big ups to them. Let them create it, whatever they want. But yes, they are not always going to be the flyest shit out there. It's going to be some corny shit that ties into their lifestyle. It's different, but I wouldn't.
I don't know, especially for like you and I, we kind of grew up like in different. We've seen different hypes. We've seen different waves, and if you kind of remember the early 2000s, even to the late early 2000s, like 2010s and all that, when we saw like the explosion of street brand wear and everybody was trying to put a streetwear brand, like you had like some of the OGs, you had like the Hundreds, and you had Diamond Supply Company, and then you had like 10 Deep, you had Crooks and Castles. But then there was also a bunch of phony, like, again, I don't want to diss any brands, but like there was also a bunch of phony brands that were coming up and they had like big money behind them and fizzled away, or like brands like had the underground like captured, and it was interesting where they grew too fast. And I think one of the examples of that was, remember Zoo York? I mean, like at one point Zoo York was like the shit underground streetwear brand. And next thing you know, you can find their
Like
stuff
the
at
hundreds
Ross.
too. I remember the hundreds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, dude, I give props to the hundreds, Ben and Bobby. I was lucky enough to meet them a couple times because of Andy over at Primitive and stuff like that. But they kind of they kept it true to their roots, where it's like, we're doing this. Yeah, we're going to put our brand in the shops that we cater to and we care about. But they could have probably blown up a lot bigger than they did, and they decided like, no, that's not our game. They kept it to the shops they wanted to,
Yeah.
and they didn't put their stuff over at Macy's, for example. I mean, like, I know, Ralph, you were probably in the midst of college, man, like early college, but dude, think about like brands who started underground, like streetwear brands. I mean, like probably the biggest example outside of New York or Zoo York, the other one I can remember is Echo.
Yeah, dude.
Echo was a streetwear
Dang, that's a
brand.
throwback.
Yeah.
Echo was a streetwear brand, and all of a sudden, you were seeing it at Macy's. Like, what the hell?
All right.
Yeah, it was weird when I
Fubu.
started seeing.
Fubu.
Yeah.
Think about Fubu.
Fubu.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
It was weird when I started seeing Zoo York in, like to your point, Macy's, JCPenney, because like I used to only see it in skate shops.
Yeah.
And then it branched out to like all these major like retail stores, and I was like, what the heck? Like, okay, now it's cool to wear Zoo York.
I give them
Those
props
are
because they
some-
made their money, but they also lost their company.
Yeah.
Like they
Yeah.
actually literally lost their companies just because of the investors they had in there, man. So that was an interesting story.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm kind of interested to see if that's going to replicate itself with like the subculture of golf that's starting out now.
There was that also, I can't remember the name, but it was a sister brand to Echo. It was a Stitch and Sew.
It was
brand.
a cut and sew one. Yeah,
Cut and Sew. Yeah,
it was Echo cut and sew.
and that one was pretty hot for a minute, and I think
that was
because of Echo, because of Echo, and how fast Echo was falling, Cut and Sew could have gone up by itself, but because they were tied into Echo, it just dropped everything. Because I remember a lot of this shit was pretty fly. Cut and Sew compared to Echo, I was not rocking Echo. I don't think I ever did. Even though I didn't hate it, I don't think I ever rocked it. But when their Cut and Sew line came out, that was a little bit more formal and more more my style, and I liked it. And I hated it when they went down. I was like, Jesus fuck, I can't believe they're fucking going under. But it all ties into what you just said, that it was because of Echo that they went down and shit.
And it's happened to a lot of cool brands. I mean, do you guys remember LRG or Lifted Research Group?
Yeah.
Mister,
Yeah, that's
bro, I
one.
still have shirts in my fucking closet that are LRG.
Dude, LRG, I remember
Yeah.
luckily because the guys over at Primitive, shout out to Andy and Paul or P-Rod Jr., Jubal Jones, all those guys at Primitive. I kind of got a chance to meet a lot of these guys whenever they had events or when they ever had social gatherings and stuff like that. But dude, the guys at LRG were legit as hell, and like their brand was awesome. And it's one of those things where it's like you talk about brands, like you kind of want to be have that artistic mindset. But look, at the end of the day, you can't live on artistic mindset all the time. Like you start having families, you start growing up. Like, where do you really draw the line? Like, do you really sell out? I mean, I don't consider it selling out, but it's one of those things where you get a little you grow too fast and you're not able to scale appropriately.
Sustain it. Yeah. You just can't sustain yourself.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. So I think that's the one thing that'll be interesting to see with so many brands all of a sudden popping up. Like, which ones are the ones that are in it for the long run? Which ones are the ones that are going to be in here just for a quick buck? To your point, Hex, like some of these celebrity back brands, even the celebrities themselves, they got into golf baby because of COVID. How many of them are going to be real golfers 5, 10, 15 years from now versus like how many are like, oh, it was hot for a minute and that's it, we're out of it. And I think there's going to be a good chunk of them that are probably not going to be there, dude.
You might be right. I don't know. I might be the optimist, but it's kind of like once you pick up on the sport, unless you really hate it, I don't know. Unless you just try it for fucking shits and giggles. But in my opinion, once you pick up on it, I think this is the one sport that you just fucking end up doing it for life. My opinion only. I haven't ran it. No, I'll take that back. I've ran into a couple dudes that they've given up on it, but they're
Well,
lames, so I wouldn't
dude,
count them.
a good example. I mean, he's picked it back up now, but if you talk to Machete, he grew up playing golf and he won all those tournaments as a kid. We'll get him on the podcast, guys. But um, he told me I was golfing with him a couple months ago, and he told me he gave up golf for 15 years.
Dude, I think we all go through that stretch. It's the same thing. When I first learned how to play golf, I was like cracked
You
out on
did.
it.
You
And
did,
then I
yeah, you
stopped for a
did.
while until you and I picked it up together again, dude.
I don't think I ever did. I think it was a very slow, progressive. Um, it was progressively going for me,
Mhm.
and then I know you told me that you took a big break until we started again. But for me, once I picked it up, I never stopped.
Just
I
kept running
just
with
I,
it.
I just kept kept going and going and going, and it just progressively got worse to the point that my wife now hates that I go golfing and shit. Like it's like she hates it. It's like you always want to go fucking golfing. You're always traveling, and I'm like, oh, my bad. Like, I have to apologize ahead of time before I go golfing and shit. So it's gotten to that point for me. I know it's not that, and you're right. You are correct, Raul, because there are some people and who was it that we had that you guys, Mike, you interviewed somebody who said the same thing. He gave it up for a long time, and Lalo, I believe, was one of them too. Lalo gave it up for a long time.
Lalo
Hmm?
was saying that he was just hitting the range for a long time, and he
For a
never
long
actually
time,
like hit the golf course until like he was older. But yeah,
and
like
yeah,
he was just always on the
yeah.
edge of golfing, and then
for,
finally
for
decided to
some of
dive
them,
into it. Yeah, yeah. I
I
think it's
think I
different
was
for
at the
everyone.
yeah, it is. I think for me, I think I was at that ripe age, like that perfect age where I took it and I just kept it going. I didn't want to stop anymore. I didn't take it up when I was younger. No, I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't start till I was after. I want to say I was 26 when I first got my first range and started whacking and hacking the shit out of balls. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, because for me, I picked it up when I was young, but then I immediately dropped it. Like it wasn't for me, because also too, because it's like I'm a kid, so I'm not gonna go out and like spend money that I
yeah,
don't have to golf. But then yeah, at 26, that's when I picked it up again, like 25, 26, and I'm like, dude, like I just want to play this all the time, and so just kept playing golf all the time.
and I think that makes a lot of sense because I look at my son, right? My son, when he was younger, he wanted to come out with me every time, right, Raul? He was out
Okay.
there with us almost
Yeah.
every fucking weekend. And teenage and past teenage and he girlfriends and fucking night, parties with his fucking friends. And so there's
Hungover
that
rounds.
little, yeah, so there's that space where you're like, oh, I don't want to go golfing. I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do so. For a lot of people, I guess that is the norm. Or
Hmm.
or but for somebody for like me who didn't pick it up when I was younger, and I didn't get it till mid 20s, late 20s. Um, I just never let it go. This is something I like, and I wanted to improve myself, and I want to keep doing this. And I had the means to do it at the time. Where somebody who's at that age, their means is like, I'm gonna go buy a fucking sixer, or I'm gonna buy a fucking round.
Buy a
Like
box of
they got
balls.
outweigh. Yeah, like that's
Yeah.
all. I'm gonna get my balls licked, or you know, this
Oh,
weekend, or
Definitely
I'm gonna hit a,
explicit content in this one.
yeah, this is gonna be
or I'm gonna
marketing
hit a one,
explicit.
I'm gonna hit a 110. Like, no, I'm not gonna hit a 110. I'm gonna get my balls licked. Fuck that. you know, it's that age gap, I guess,
Yeah.
or that specific age
Yeah. I
that,
mean, but the good thing for Ray though is that like he has you. So at a
yeah.
young age, he got into golf with you because he wants to hang out with his dad, obviously. So that's like really
Hmm.
cool for him. And so like I don't think for him it'll ever be a point of like, oh, I'm tired of this. I never want to play again. It's for him, it's like, hey, I'm in my 20s right now. Let me go play. Let me go hang out with the girlfriend, the friends and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, he could be like, yo, my dad's gonna go golfing this weekend. I'm not doing anything. Let me go hang out with my pops. And so like I think that's cool. You kind
But
of
no, it
establish,
is.
But
yeah,
think
No,
you
about
trust
it
me,
though.
establish something.
That's also
I enjoy it.
generational, and that's let's be honest, that's social racial, dude. Think about it. Like we all have white friends, and think about it. Like some of our white friends, you talk to them like, hey, what are you doing Father's Day? I'm taking my dad golfing, type of thing.
Yeah.
Or like, what are you doing, this weekend or something? Like, hey, I'm gonna go out with my uncle. I'm gonna go out with my dad. I'm gonna do this type of thing. And that's something that we didn't necessarily grow up with, but now we're kind of indoctrinated into our kids. I mean, Hector with Ray and me, like even yesterday, I took out Ian Twilight round, and it's one of those things where, like, I've been taking Ian golfing since he was 4 years old. Like, it's part of one of those things where he's complaining, like, you haven't taken me golfing. I mean, he's 14 now. Already. So he complained about not going out to get around.
Bro, he'll tell me too. He's like, when are we going to Go Hill again? I was like, well, next time you come down, I'll take you to Go Hill. Like, we'll go.
So it's one of those things. Like, if you grow around it, it's second nature to you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And 14 was around the time that Hector was really involved. Ray was involved, and he wanted to be in. Every time I went golfing, he wanted to be a part of it. And even I mean, again, there was that gap, but even like a couple of years ago for his birthday, it was his 22nd birthday, and I asked him, what do you want to do? What do you want? He's like, I just want a round. And remember, Raul, you guys came down, we went to Valencia. It was his birthday round. It was his birthday round. He just wanted a fucking round, and he hadn't played golf years already. It was been a couple of years that he hasn't played golf, but for me, it was like the fucking best. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's go play golf, kid.
Yeah.
Well, but that's the beauty of it. That's where also look for kind of where we started this conversation. How many people are really going to be in it for the long run? And I think what we're trying to instill, hopefully, to some of the fans of the brand and some of the listeners of the podcast, especially the younger ones that are in that age group where they're building their lives. You're buying your first place, you're getting married, you're having kids. Like it's Caesar having his twinsies. These are things that he's going to instill into his kids. And I think that's a very powerful thing we're also trying to do. I mean, we always talk about the culture, but I think those are the things that we can instill into our culture, where it's like, you want to get tighter with your kids, take them out to a freaking round of golf and just have a chill time with them. Like, Hects has had that chill time with Ray. I have it with my kid. And it's something that kind of bonds us a little bit tighter. And we're growing that into their mindset. And there's so many things we talk about how golf leads into business. These different type of things that we're building into their mindset.
These conversations. I mean, this whole company started because of golf. I mean, if we weren't golfing, we wouldn't have just fucking thought of it and just said, oh, let's run with this. Let's see how. No, we did it because we were a fan of the sports, and we saw, something that we could run with and make it our own, and we did. And and yeah, like I agree with Raul. Something that is, and it could be anything. It could be anything. It doesn't have to necessarily be golf. But for us, it just we're I'm happy, and we're also what's the word? Just I don't want to say, I forgot the word, but it's a good thing that it is golf for us, because it's something that we enjoy versus something that we don't enjoy. So again, Raul takes his son out and he enjoys his time with his son. I enjoy when Ian's out on the course. I really do, because we have fun and everything, and the Ian's there, and it's fun. And I know that years ago when Hector used to come around, Raul would enjoy the time with Hects and shit.
Dude, how many times have we been telling? Anytime we see Ray, when we're going golfing, dude, when we're going golfing, and I know
the first thing I ask him.
Yeah, every time we see Ray, and he's always happy-go-lucky about that shit too. It's just before his old gig used to get in the way, and now I know the whole where he's reciting and where he needs to be reciting is getting in his way, but we'll get that squared away.
Yeah, no, it's a fun thing. So we're very fortunate that we have something that we enjoy, that our kids, and again, doesn't necessarily have to be golf for anybody that's listening to us. It could be baseball. Like it could be checkers. It could be fucking
fishing,
chess.
Anything like
that. Like anything like that. And if anybody has that opportunity to share that with their kids, we're fortunate that we enjoy what we do, and our kids are gravitating to what we do and shit. But again, it could be anything. And if anybody is in a position where they enjoy fishing and their kids, actually, my boss enjoys fishing and his son is
Yeah.
always with him fishing. And that's a fortunate situation. That is great. That's one of the coolest things in the world when it comes to you and your family and shit. But again, for us, coming back to golfing, we're very fortunate that like Raul has Ian to be able to go out and I have Ray Ray, and I know Ray Ray's a girl dance man now, but I still enjoy it when he comes out with me. He is
Well,
a
I
girl
mean, dude,
dance
we
man
always
now,
have a
but
blast. I mean, like, dude, the
yeah,
Thanksgiving round we had was fucking
yeah,
ridiculous,
no,
dude.
it was.
Bro.
With Ian out there, was it Show Canyon? Yeah, we were out in Show
That
Canyon.
shoal, dude.
Yikes.
Dude, that was a fun time. That's actually funny too because when we were talking earlier, Raul, where you're saying like, hey, we could get out there and we could just let loose and like just unwind and relax. Dude, I think the last 2 to 3 rounds I've played with you, like I've never seen you just unwind. Like you were like a kid in a candy shop coming out of the golf course. Like we just had the best round of our life. Dude, we
Oh,
probably
dude.
shot like in the hundreds, but no, dude, we were
No, how
all of
dare you?
us.
Remember, if there's one thing we hold ourselves accountable is not to get into the hundreds.
I know. We shot in like the low 90s, but it was still. I'm just trying to like make the point where like it didn't matter how the play went. It was just like, dude, like
Good times.
we were all together and we had a good time, which I think ties in perfectly to like why the boys like to go out and play, right? Because Ian and Ray, um, because you're hanging out with the boys, they're getting a sense of what it's like to be, an adult. I mean, Ray's already an adult, like you said, but he's still looking to that generation above him, like, dude, this is cool. This could be me 10, 15 years from now, where I
Well, it's
can
kind of
be.
Right.
funny. It's kind of funny you bring this up, and I remember this is a conversation that I had with Hector about Ray, and it was one of those things where the relationship that Ray, and I hope I'm not going too deep on this one, Hex, but the relationship that Hector has with Ray, a lot of times we talk about like, one of the biggest issues with some newer generations that their parents and the kid relationship is almost like a buddy buddy. There's like no respect type of thing where it's like daughters see
Mhm.
their mom as like their BFF and like dads don't even try to have that relationship with their sons. Hector's attitude about his son is like, hey, I'll shit talk to you. And there's that thin line between shit talking and we know we're Ian, or in this case, Ray Ray is not going to go over the line and talk too much shit to Hex. But when we get to golf, there's that competitive spirit. There's that little bit of shit talking between both of them, and that kind of is a cool thing. And you guys have seen the same thing with Ian, even with you guys, where it's like there's enough shit talking to make it competitive, to have that fun activity to it, with still not going overboard and still reminding our kids, like, at the end of the day, we're your parents, we're your uncles, we're your
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
extended family type of thing. Because like
yeah.
Hex, like, dude, Ian sees you like an uncle type of shit.
And so does Ray. Ray's always like, Uncle Raul, or what's up with Unks? We're gonna play with Unks or fucking Uncle Louie. It's either Unks Raul or fucking Uncle Louie and shit. And so yeah, no, I agree with you. It's like we've created a bond as a family, even though we're not blood related. Raul always says Hector's like a brother, and I always say both him and his brother are like a brother to me. Um,
Mhm.
it's just a bond that we've created, not only outside of golfing, but I think for us, and I'm just saying it for me, golfing has only just strengthened, and again, it only helps that we've known each other our whole fucking lives.
Well, pretty
you
much,
know,
but it's
you know,
definitely more fun when we fucking when we're out on
yeah,
the golf course.
yeah, of course, yeah, because for everybody that doesn't know, me and Raul, we've known each other since first grade, and we've known each other through all of elementary, but then there was a gap, a big
Yeah.
gap, because after elementary, I didn't see this guy till after our 20s and shit, So um it's a funny story. I don't want to get into it. We're gonna deflect. Let's just not go into
but
it.
but no, that, I mean, and I think that's the beauty of golf, and it's one of those things where, like, kind of going back to the culture thing, most of us were not necessarily exposed at it at a young age. So some of the guys that are getting, and we've been lucky enough to meet people through this little project of ours, through this little brand of ours, who are younger cats, who are barely going to start that career or start that
Mm-hmm.
family, and kind of, I mean, I don't want to sound like we're the ones that are kind of showing them a path, but we're showing them a different path that in many cases we weren't shown this. We kind of got lucky and we came across it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, like, I think, Ralph, and this is why I give you props about, like, I know you wanting to do something like this. It's how do we cascade that message without being too, too prescriptive about it. We could just talk about the experiences that we've seen. And it's like, if anybody wants that, take that advice and knock yourself out. And if you
Yeah.
just want to listen to this and listen, hey, knock yourself out, whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
You know what's
I think
funny? Go ahead, Ralph. No, because mine's gonna
I was
string
just,
on. Go ahead.
yeah, my bad. I was just gonna say, yeah, like that. I think that's really important, like the way that we handle it with the podcast, because like, yeah, we have our professions, our career, and like, maybe some of us have been in that line for a while, and so yeah, we are professionals in that sense of what we do. But as far as golfing and the brand, like, yeah, we're just average golfers and stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, we're not telling you to make this your Bible and be like, this is what you need to do. You need to become golfer. So like what Hex was saying is like, maybe it's fishing, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And yeah, I get that's the whole point of the pod, is that we'll show you somebody doing something that looks like you, another brown guy who's a CPA, or there's a brown guy who's in the golf industry, and all these different things. And then, like you said, like, if you want to pick it up too, at least there's somebody else doing it. Like, cool. I'm not going to be the only one out there, and it's okay to ask for help and maybe go figure out what's going on over there. But yeah, we were going to say, Hex, my bad.
Well, no. And just going on with what you're saying right now. Yeah, asking for help is not a bad thing. I mean, I think making that connection and connecting and networking within people that you may not know, but they could be like-minded as you, and they could
Mm-hmm.
offer you that advice and give you just the extra edge you need to keep going. And it actually ties into what I was gonna say um, before you said that. Raul said something very important. A lot of people don't know that this right here, this podcast, this is your idea. This is Mikey's or Ralph's idea. This is Ralph's idea. This is Ralph's baby. And for a long time, I was like, no, because you know, back when we started, when Raul presented the idea to you, and you're like, yeah, no, that's a fucking great idea. I've always wanted to do a podcast, and we kind of just dismissed it. We did. We just like, podcast. We really did. And now that it's going on, and I've seen the interviews, and unfortunately, I haven't been a part of as much as I've wanted to be. Um, I've seen the interviews you do, and they're fucking awesome, dude. Like, honestly, like the last two
Thanks,
interviews you
bro.
did, fucking great. And I want to see this keep going. And it's funny because when we first started, back when we were having the initial meetings, and we were tying in numbers, we were talking about where can we get our textile, where can we get our fucking our faux leather, how much is this gonna cost, and we were doing the numbers. And I remember, we're having a meeting and shit, and we're on back then we were on Zoom, we weren't on Teams because we couldn't afford Teams. And I was sitting in the kitchen, and I'm fucking doing these numbers, and I'm laying it out. And then Ray comes in towards the end, he comes in, and he's towards the end of the meeting. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm explaining to him what I'm doing. And I'm like, I'm just trying to see where we could land if we do it this way or we do it that way, how much earnings we could do. And he's asking and asking and asking. And then I'm like, "What do you?" And I asked him, I swear to God, this was like literally at the fucking beginning. And I'm like, "Mikey wants to do a podcast. What do you do? What do you think?" And for years, Hector's been trying to, or Ray, my kid, he's been trying to get me to do a podcast with him. And I said yes,
Yeah.
like, let's do it, kid. Because our conversations when we're sitting down, we're always talking about fucking comics, we're talking about games. And he's like, and so when I told him this is when we started, he's like, "Oh fuck yeah, you should do a podcast." And he's like, "I'm telling you, you should do a fucking podcast." I'm like, "Kid, I don't know, get out of here." Like, I'm like, let me finish explaining to you what I'm doing here right now. And but no, for anybody that doesn't know, just because I'm touching where I always say this shit, like, this is your baby. And I'm really happy and I'm really, really proud to be affiliated with this because it's doing good. Like it's doing great. I really enjoy other conversations when I'm traveling, dude, and I see the new one pop up. I just fucking put it on, throw it on. If I'm on a plane, obviously it's on Spotify. If I'm in a hotel or something, I throw it on YouTube because I want to see you and shit. But the conversations you have, the topics you fucking choose, everything you've been doing so far has been great, and I really want to be a part of more of them, and I'm committing myself to be more a part of them because I want to be shit. I wanted some cafecito with a fucking cigar in my hand. The
Yeah, I
fuck
ain't
does
gonna
it
lie,
want
dude.
that?
I was a little pissed off that
I
I
was a
couldn't make it
little-
to San Diego, dude.
Bro, the art of cigar, bro.
But I
Dude.
do gotta
Yeah.
fucking call
Shout
you
out
out.
Andy and the crew.
I'm gonna be that douche that corrects you. What the fuck are you doing calling a humidor the humidifier?
Bro,
Oh yeah,
I'm a
bro.
novice. I'm a novice. I told
was
Andy
like,
right
bro,
there on the spot.
I saw that. I'm like, did this
I'll
person say humidifier?
It's like, what is
I
the fucking
told no
cigar have a
lies.
cold or something, bro?
I'm
Bro,
surprised he didn't fucking correct you on the spot.
I'm surprised
I think
I
he
realized,
got
bro, I realized after I said it, and I was just like,
You said
nah,
it
that's the
twice.
wrong. I said it twice. Oh, I
Yeah.
caught it after the second time then because I was like, wait, that's not the right term. And I was like, but I said it. I'm like, I'm a novice. You tell me like terminology things. Like you tell me how I gotta say it. Like I literally just bought some new torches off some recommendations they gave me. They're like, oh bro, buy this torch. I was like, cool. That's what I'm gonna light my stogies with now. So
That was honestly, that was a like, fuck, that looks good. I like,
Bro.
not no lie. That day when I was seeing, because I do the same thing like Hector does. If I am not in front of my computer, I'll listen to it on Spotify. I'll listen on my phone. If I'm in front of my computer, play it on YouTube. And I was slammed with work. I was like, fuck, I need to finish all this and I need to go to the cigar shop. I was just like jonesing a cigar. And then something came up and I still haven't gotten a cigar, dude. Like that episode just made me want to freaking light up a stogie. And I actually have some in my humidor, but I fucking haven't had a chance. But
Dude.
yeah, that was a good episode, dude.
Yeah, thanks, man. No, that was cool. That was really cool. We came in there and they treated us like family. They're like, come on in, check everything out, check out the product, check out the shop. Let's get you a stogie. So no, yeah, shout out Andy, everybody, Orlando, Abe, Don Luis, who rolls the stogies there on site. Gosh,
Dude,
man.
what is that? Talking about them, what is that event they have going on, dude? I saw that repost, like, dude.
Yeah.
Do you have a little bit of details? Hit them up about that one, man, because
Yeah,
that looked very tempting.
bro. Yeah. So off the top of my head, from what I remember when we were talking. So basically, kind of like what we talked about in the episode, is that the guys really want to give back to the DR. They want to get back to the Dominican Republic and really put an emphasis on handing the industry back to the Dominican people. And so part of that is they want to organize a week-long golf trip out to the DR. It's a combination of golf and stogies. So basically, if I remember off the top of my head on the flyer, there's going to be like 5 rounds of golf, maybe 3. I think 5 is a lot for just 1 week. You'd be tired after all that smoking and golfing. But yeah, you get 3 rounds of golf. You get the night stayed covered. You get all of the tours covered. I think meals are covered. It's about like 5 G's. But basically you get a week long of golf, food, and stogies. The only thing outside of that, you pay for your flights.
Yeah, I was trying to pull it up, man, but when I was reading that, I was like, whew, that looks like a good time waiting to happen.
Bro, I
you
know.
convinced me. I'm refinancing the house. We're gonna do this.
Bro,
We're doing this. I hope my wife's not listening.
It's a
dude,
business expense, but we can get this done.
For what you get, it's worth the money. I'm like,
Right.
dude, I'm like,
Yeah, no. Did you guys see that? I sent it on our group chat. That it's in Turkey, where I think it was like 57 holes. They have literally
that.
You saw that?
one
Did you guys
day?
see that?
Yeah, that looks hot.
No, I don't know if you can fucking do it in one day, bro.
Start like early in the morning and
There's like 57
if you ask Sergio,
fucking
he's gonna
holes.
do it in half a day, and then he's gonna quit by hole number 32.
yeah.
We know
So
that.
so if you haven't seen it, Mike, I sent it in our chat. and I fucking forgot, but it's a course in Turkey, and it's like they show the satellite view and they show how big it is. I want to say, and I could be fucking that up, but I want to say it was 57 fucking holes on one course.
Dude,
And I don't know that
is
you
just
could do
along the coastline, dude.
Yeah,
It's like literally
coastline.
just straight up the coastline,
huge.
man.
Yeah, it is.
Wait, where did they
huge. It's
get
fucking
57 from? Because like
I don't.
there's just
Who
3
gives a
random
fuck?
holes out there.
No, and it's
you're-
not
you're-
57. It's 297
There you go.
holes of golf.
I told you I was butchering it.
Yeah.
I just knew it was a fucking big ass course.
Yeah.
You could see it from satellite view. From satellite view, you can see this fucking course.
Oh, was it like Blevin or so? Yeah, that thing that you put.
Bellick.
Bellick.
Yeah, I don't even know how
Yeah.
to pronounce it. It's Bellick.
Yeah.
Bellick.
And
Yeah.
I'm sure we're butchering it because it's
dude.
Turkish. It's a Turkey.
Yeah.
It's in Turkey and shit, but it's on the southern western part of Turkey, and literally right in the corner. And it's like Raul said, over almost 300 fucking holes.
Yeah.
So definitely you probably need to take a month vacation to do that.
Bro, I don't even know if a month is long enough. Dude.
It's a lot of fucking holes and shit. You
Yeah,
know?
it's just the entire coastline is just all golf courses.
Yeah.
it's
Because like
pretty wild.
if you played every day, I mean maybe you could do it, but your body's gotta rest at some point, bro. Like I feel like my back would just lock up. Like
Oh,
I'm done.
dude. That's without a doubt. That's a lot of that's a lot of Advil waiting to happen.
So Mikey, going back to I shot you an idea earlier last week.
Okay.
Actually, it was right after the Masters. Actually, it was literally after the Masters, and we saw I sent you that post of the dudes in Oakland where they have their ghetto masters in the fucking projects and they're fucking shooting off of houses.
Oh yeah. And doing the
they had the
Masters
yellow
dinner and all
Oakland,
that.
California, though, bro, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
It was Oakland.
No, not our Oakland. It's not in California. It was like Oakland, Michigan. I didn't even know there was such a place.
Oh, they're not
Yeah,
tripping.
because then
I thought it was Oakland, California.
So I looked it up, and they have
That makes sense. That makes sense. Who the fuck knows golf in Oakland, California?
Hey, bro, Big Choke and all them are up there in NorCal. So.
Well, they're not in Oakland, but
No, they're not.
No, they're not in Oakland.
I looked at the neighborhood. I'm like, that looks a little too peaceful, and people are not talking shit if they're doing a golf tournament on the street. That was the one that kind of threw me off.
Yeah, it was pretty bright out there. You know what I mean? It wasn't that much. You know, there's a lot of white people is what I'm trying to say. In Oakland, I'm like, yeah, that doesn't make sense. But it was, anyways. The point I was trying to make is, what I suggested is we should hold a Masters style tournament next year before the Masters, getting ready, getting our followers to getting ready for the fucking Masters. A 4-day event. We'll invite everybody over, 4 days, and to start playing and do it. And it could be an annual thing. It is, I don't think it should be a biannual, but I think it would be a great idea. And we're gonna do it all for charity and shit. We pick a charity like we've done in the past. And but yeah, I think that would be fucking great, because not only can we experience that, and anybody who wants to join, obviously there's gonna be a limit, but we could set it up and people could experience it, but people who follow us will see us, and we could talk about how hard that shit is. It's not easy.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, bro, no. I did a 4-day tournament. I did a 3-day tournament one time, and dude,
I tell you, I'd be cramping as fuck the next day.
The third round, I was so tight. I was just like, I can't even get out of the golf cart, bro.
Yeah, so I thought I'm like, what led me into this is when I was watching it on Saturday morning, and I was home, and I saw fucking Tiger rubbing some icy hot in his fucking groin, his back, his leg, and I'm like, he's fucking dying right now. Like, he's dying.
He's gone through some shit though, man. Like,
Hects was like, accident. He's me.
that accident was something else, man. I give him props just for even hanging in there.
I get it, but what I'm saying is, there's probably that regular Joe out there is like, the fuck's he putting icy hot for? He's Tiger Woods, and so this would be a good example to show everybody how us regular motherfuckers who drink beer on the fucking weekends and are not working out 24/7 like Tiger is, because even though he's hurting that bad, this is a motherfucker who works out all the fucking time. He's in fit shape. And us motherfuckers who are not in fit shape, we got our beer belly, we got our shit going, and we're trying to do this thing. I think it would be fucking awesome. I think it would be cool. We get
That'd
a
be
fucking
cool.
couple of, I think
I
it would be
mean,
dope.
we're golf addicts, so we're always gonna be like, yeah, let's do a 4-day tournament. I mean, I'm so down for that. But
I'm
yeah,
down.
we'll
Even if
see.
it's just us. Even if it's
Yeah.
just us. If nobody else wants to join, fuck it. We'll do it ourselves for 4 fucking days.
I'm
And we'll
down.
document it. We'll document the fuck out of it.
Let's do this. Hey, for those of you watching on YouTube, in the comment section, do you want to join a 4-day tournament? Put it in there. Or if you're on Spotify or the podcast, we have a poll.
I'm thinking like February, March of next year.
Yeah.
I think I got time.
It has to be like probably like the last week of April because we're gonna give people their time back so they can see the Masters.
Yeah.
It'd probably be at the end of March, dude.
Yeah, I think it'll be fun. I just hope we don't have like a crowd, because we'll probably smack one of those motherfuckers.
Bro. So right now that you say that, it reminds me of Los Compas. Shout out Los Compas. We're gonna get them on the podcast soon here. But they what they do when they wrap up a round, because they have tee times. So every tee time as they finish, they just wait on the 18th green. So like if you're one of the last tee times, which I was the first time I ever played with them, bro, there's literally like a gallery around the green. Dude, I had like a 60-yard shot into the green, a little wedge shot over water. It was up. I was like, bro, please don't let me put this in the water. Please don't let me put this in the water. I like hit this nice little shot, got some backspin, and it ran back. Everyone was all clapping for me. I was like, oh, dude, I did not intend for that to happen, but that looked sick.
See, that was your biggest worry getting in the water. My biggest worry would be like, I'm gonna fucking clap one of these motherfuckers on my left
that's on
or
them,
my
bro.
right.
They're waiting.
Just
Dude.
No, I'm not that bad. Just hey, guys, I'm not that bad.
No, he'll pull out the 69-degree wedge and it's just gonna go
Flop
straight.
shot.
Flop shots everywhere.
By the way, I just got my 72. I've been
Oh
waiting for
God.
it. I got
Did
it.
you buy a 72 or did
fucking
you bend it to a
spatula, bro.
72?
What was that?
Did you buy it as a 72 or did you bend it to a 72?
No. I've been waiting for the 72 to come back online, and I got it.
He was on the waiting list, bro.
Bro,
I was on the waiting list.
I need you.
Hey, listen,
to,
you seen how dangerous I am with the 69.
No, I'm not judging.
72.
I'm not judging. It's just like, bro, like you only get 14 clubs in the bag. You got to make a choice. Like, what do you?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't need
Fuck
a
a
stinking
pitch.
driver, dude.
Yeah.
Who needs the pitch? Fuck a pitch. Who needs a 3-wood? Fuck a 3-wood. Fuck a 5-wood. I don't need that shit.
All wedges.
Flop shot everywhere, babe.
It's always it's half and half. So it's half wedges and then half. Oh, man, it's your short game. You get there. So you need a strong iron, your driver, right? And so your strong iron, your driver, you need a putter, and then who knows where the fuck you end up in the middle? You could be in the bush, you could be here. You need multiple avenues to get the fuck out. You need your short game to be on point. So that's why
Get eggs, bro.
Well, I think one of you guys sent it into the group that quick little clip. If you practice the way you play golf, and it's a guy in a range and he has like branches all over him trying to hit shots.
Oh, I think it was Serge or Hects, yeah.
That was Serge.
That was Serge, yeah.
I was like, that would be a good practice, Steve.
Especially
for
Serge.
Serge.
I saw a different one where he's like, if you practice the way you play, and he's trying to swing, and he put a big ass
branch behind him,
and he's like tapping the branch and swinging. And I was like, yo, that's fucking
There's one
hilarious.
on the side.
Yeah.
That's
I
the
was like,
one.
that one was cool. Yeah, that was fucking hilarious.
That needs to be like a common thing at ranges now. Like just have like fake branches and trees like on one of the freaking bays. It's like, okay, if you're a shitty golfer, go over to that bay. If you're a good golfer and you're gonna work on actual striking, like go over here.
Yeah. So listen, a lot of people are gonna fucking talk shit. Why does he fucking have a 70? Why does he even have a 69? I'm gonna tell the story.
You just like because of the number, dude.
Yeah.
No, listen, Raul, you were there when I fucking hit this shot
I've
over this
seen you do
fucking
some
tree.
crazy, stupid shit with your wedges, bro. So
Yeah.
I know that.
This-
Like
this
this
is
guy,
not a
this guy
small
gets over
tree.
palm trees like nothing. He's like, oh, palm tree in the middle of the way? Nah,
Say
69.
less.
I got it.
69.
I
Yeah.
got this bitch. You know, so
Dude,
so
like that.
so I
What's that?
was very initially I wanted the 72.
Oh my
That when I
God.
saw the 72, I'm like, that's for me. That's for me because I know this is the fucking wedge for me because I like to do this shit, you know. And I always end up in situations where I need to pop one
No,
up in
you
the fucking
don't
sky.
need it.
You can take a
And
lob
so,
wedge and you can open the
Open the
face.
face.
listen, I'm not a pro, bro. I'm not a
Dude, the worst thing
pro. I'm
is
not
you
over
still
here.
open the face on the 72. I'm literally, dude, he turns it into a 90-degree wedge, bro.
Yeah.
Like the 69 is like 80-degree by the time you're done with that shot.
So there's been a couple situations where like I've literally popped them over fucking full size trees. Like, oh, I could get over this bitch, and I fucking whack it, and sure enough, this motherfucker goes right over the fucking tree, and I'm like, I need
When he
something
clearly
that's
had
gonna
an
give me-
opening without a tree in him, but he wanted to get over the fucking tree.
And I'm like, and so I'm like, I need to get something that's gonna get me higher. You know,
Like, what do I
so
do? An easy pitch shot or high flop?
yeah,
High
Flop.
flop.
So-
Let's go.
Flop.
so
Bump
so I
and
saw
run.
the
Who needs a
first.
fucking bump and run when I got a flop shot with this 69?
Gosh, bro.
So well, the truth of it is that I saw when the first 72 got marketed, and I'm like, yo, that I could use that shit, and I couldn't get it because it was fucking always sold out. So I went on Amazon and I was like, fuck, 72 wedge, and I couldn't find it. But the closest I found was a 69, and I've been using that 69 probably like for 4 years already. And but I just recently got this fucking 72, and I was like, yes. God damn, I can't wait to use this bitch. And so a month ago I went out with my boy Jonathan, Raul, Jonathan,
Of course.
and he brought one of his co-buddies from work, and I was like, hey, check this club out. And he was like, what the fuck is this? He was literally like, what the fuck is this? Like, what are you gonna do with this? I'm like, look at my line. And I showed him, and I was like, fucking popped it up. Sure enough, it fucking worked beautiful. Fucking love it. I swear to God, I didn't waste money. It's a fucking badass iron, badass wedge. And you guys can talk all the shit you want. I love it.
Dude, trust me, I ain't talking shit, but it's just like,
I'm not.
bro,
Yeah.
you have a clear path, bump and running. Nope, going over the fucking tree.
It's impressive. It's very impressive. I've seen you get over a palm tree, and I'm just like, that's not a little tree that you just got over. So,
Mhm.
which is even funnier though, because it's a palm tree, Hex. Like, it's not that wide.
I know.
We could have gone around.
That's what I'm saying.
It's right in front of me. It's like, fuck you, challenge accepted. I'm going over you, bitch. That's how I feel sometimes.
Shit. Oh,
And
dude.
yeah, I get it, but again, it's not that I do it all the time. Sometimes I will do the bump and run, but why do I have a lot of wedges? Is because you want to have your arsenal, your arsenal. It's not like we're pros, but sometimes you want to do some special shit that's just like, fuck it, let's pop it over this fucking palm tree.
That's a clip right there.
Dude, look,
Shit.
if you guys have your phone on you, this is why Hector prefers. Like, I know people that are not seeing this on YouTube, but I'm gonna send you guys. I was looking for this on Instagram, so not sure if you can see this, but this is why Hector prefers the bump and run. I mean, the flop shot over the bumper.
Oh.
Move over a little bit this way. Yeah, there we go.
That's Hector right there, dude.
Yep. That's facts. That's facts.
The flop
Not gonna
is the
lie,
shit,
I love a good flop shot as well. So no, I'm not.
Flop
I'm
is
not
impressive.
hating. The flop is impressive. Heck yeah. Right on, guys. Well, for those of you tuning in, these conversations can go on for hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and wind this down. I'm gonna ask one final question for you guys. So the homie Omar, he was on episode 2. He loves to text me hot takes and just his opinions on golf. And one of them that's come up is hole-in-ones. So there's that conversation of, if you get a hole-in-one on a par 3 course, does it count? Is it an actual hole-in-one? Hex, I'm gonna start with you. If you get a hole-in-one on a par 3 course, does that count?
Yes, but yeah, no, it will. It'll count. In my opinion, it should count. If I hit a hole in fucking one, I'm gonna be ecstatic about it. But I get why it's a par three, but like what the fuck. But yeah, fuck you. It's still a hole in one, motherfucker. It's like they were like, you're not hitting off the grass, you're hitting off the fucking carpet right there. But it's still a hole in one in my opinion.
Yeah, dude, without a doubt. Well, okay. Yeah, you're hitting off a carpet, but look, most of us that go even to a par three golf course, when do we really use a mat? We're always freaking trying to find the one piece of grass to freaking hit off of. So let's be straight up about that one. But no, dude, like, I mean, I'm trying to think, like, all the par three courses that are around here, I can't think of anyone that has a hole that's shorter than 100 yards. Van Nuys doesn't have anything that's under 100 yards, do they?
So is it a yardage? Is it a yardage? Is it a yardage?
Do they
thing
under
for
100?
you?
Yeah, they do. They got a 60 yard on the first 9. I want to say it's hole 5. It's 60 yards.
No,
it's
actually,
small.
5 is actually one of the longer ones. That's the one that that's the one that goes through that little creek area, or what used to be that little creek area.
So then
that's a longer one.
It's probably the one before it, that one, or the one after. I haven't been there in a cool minute, but it's one of those holes. But
I don't remember of anything. I could be wrong. I haven't been there in a while either. But look, Ralph, to what you mentioned, I think there's a difference. I mean, I know there's some courses that'll have like the 80-yard, 70-yard, 60-yard hole, and that one would be like, I don't know about that one.
You feel a little cheated.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, I wouldn't be. I mean, like, I would be stoked about it, but I don't know if that's the one that I want to have on the mantle type of thing. Retire the golf ball and do the whole thing. But look, if you're in a par three,
I don't give a fuck, bro. I'm throwing that on Instagram, Twitter.
Dude, come on. I think you would be a little ashamed, like if you hit like a 70-yard hole in one
with a 72 wedge.
With the 72 flop shot, you got to
actually that'd be really impressive. It's like super.
That would be fucking impressive. If I could do 72 yards with a 72 wedge, that would be fucking super impressive.
Yeah, I mean, par 3 courses for the most part, the ones that because look, out here you have Van Nuys, you have the soon or now defunct course over in Sherman Oaks. Man, I just went brain dead on the course. The Weddington is shutting down, which completely sucks because it's turning into a freaking parking lot for a private school. Yeah. They had semi-decent holes. Arroyo Seco over by the Pasadena, Northeast LA area, they have some decent yardage holes. So no, that definitely counts as a hole in one. But I would say, like, what I can look, think about it. In even championship courses or executive courses, where are most hole in ones hit? They're on the par 3s.
Yeah.
Very seldomly. I mean, it does happen, but very seldomly do you get a hole in one in a par 4.
That's impressive.
And look, but it also depends. And Hex, you've been there. Remember number 9 in Shoal Canyon? There's been multiple times where we've actually driven the freaking green. I mean, we weren't that close to a hole in one, but we left ourselves with, a 10-footer. On number 9, it's easy to drive it.
And we all missed.
We all missed. Yeah, no doubt. But that's the thing. Like, most courses where hole in ones are occurring are par 3s anyway.
Yeah. So his take was this: it's like if you're playing a par 3 course, you have 18 chances. You're playing almost 18 identical holes, whereas like on maybe executive or full course, you're down only a handful of par 3s.
Yeah, so I mean, you don't really have 18 chances. I mean, you can't say that you really have a chance with a par 4. If you land the hole in one with a par 4, that's pretty much luck. Well, honestly, any hole in one is luck. But I'm saying that's just how much harder a par 4 is. I mean, you got to be fucking launching them and shit. Yeah. Because I mean,
I don't think
par 4. The longest par 3 you guys know, they're 209, 210 yards, 220 yards. I think I've seen. I think El Carrizo has a 220 or a 215-yard par three.
Depending on where they put the tee boxes, Vista
Yeah,
Valencia
yeah.
has the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So the closest I've ever been to a hole in one, and I literally landed about 3 feet away from the fucking hole, was on hole 6 at El Carrizo. That's probably the closest I've ever been, and I was fucking ecstatic. I was like, fucking, I could have landed a fucking hole in one. How ecstatic I was and shit. Like, fuck yeah, look at this bitch. Get here, motherfuckers. I was talking shit, you know. But that was the closest I've ever been, about 2-3 feet from the hole and shit. And it feels fucking great. Can you imagine if I fucking land one? I'll never let it go. I'd be like that one ex or your wife that never lets that shit go. Remember, I got a hole in one, bitch. Don't talk shit to me. That's your wife. Your wife talking shit to you. You know, like that's who I would be. I'd be telling you motherfuckers, hey, remember? Yeah, but you did a 102. Remember I did that hole in one, bitch? You got a hole in one?
Nah, I honestly think a hole in one's a hole in one. The only one where I would be like, all right, it's a hole in one, but it was a baby one, is anything sub 100 yards.
Sub 100. I can respect
sub 100.
Yeah, I can respect that.
But even, well, okay, so yes. Why? Why do I agree with you? Because you could technically take your fucking putter and land the hole in one on the sub 100.
Give it to Jaime. Pull out the driving putter.
Oh, dude, the driving putter? Yeah. My brother has a driving putter, guys.
Right. So
yeah, that's the only thing that I would say. Like, I would still be proud of it, but I'd be like, yeah, it was, it was a short par 3. Right. But yeah, I mean, a hole in one's a hole in one, no matter what. But look, to your point, you were saying, Ralph, that it was like, okay, you get more opportunities. But look at, I don't know if you guys have seen all these tests that people do where they say putting really comes down to luck, where they actually have the little ramp, same speed of the ball, and they go every single freaking direction. I mean, like golf, let's be honest, it's not an exact science. Like, there's a lot of luck involved with it. I mean, the infamous "I'd rather be lucky than good" type of thing when it comes to golf.
Heck yeah.
It's one of those things, and golf hole in ones are no more than you just have the luck and the golf gods on your side that day type of thing.
No, yeah, hole in one is no more easier than getting a fucking par.
It's not. What?
It's not, I don't know about that one either, dude.
No, it's not. It's not. It comes down to, okay, obviously there's class levels I'm talking about. You're talking about a pro who's fucking like this last weekend
let's talk about the Joe Schmo us type of thing. And it's like,
yeah, that's what that's the point I was trying to make.
I mean, hole in ones come down to dumb luck in most cases. I can't. Well, who was it? Was it Rick Shields who had that one thing where he was trying to score a hole in one in 12 hours, unlimited balls on this par 3? It's an older video.
It was EAL. Eric Lang tried to do it in LA.
Well, no, it was one of the British guys. I don't remember if it was.
Oh no, Rick did do it too. They both did it.
Yeah, and dude, he was there. He was there for 12 hours?
Yeah,
and he still couldn't do it.
Yeah,
and he had, I think, hundreds of balls he shot. His arms were literally falling off, and he still couldn't get it. It's just, like I said, if the golf gods are smiling down at you, it's gonna happen. I mean, shit. Wasn't Lalo who told us that his wife's the one that has the hole in one, and he still hasn't got one?
It's funny. It's funny that you say that, because like online, literally, I've in this last 1 week since Monday, on the gram, I'm fucking, obviously my feed just feeds me more golf shit, and there's like three fucking feeds that I saw where the dudes were like, dude, my wife just fucking scored a hole in one. And I was just like, this is a thing. It's like the golf gods are punishing men.
And giving all the wives hole in ones.
All right. So I know, Ralph, you're trying to wrap it up, but I don't know if you guys heard this story. So not sure if you guys are aware. So the Monday after the Masters event, there's a lottery. And all the folks who are part of the journalist or the press enter that lottery. And if they pick you, you get to play Augusta. You get to play in Masters condition.
Oh.
So actually, funny enough, EAL, in his first time he joined the lottery, and he was already into golf, EAL actually got to play Augusta. So that was one of the things, and he got a lot of shit from like so-called golf journalists that this golf blogger got to play Augusta when people have been trying to enter that lottery forever.
Yeah.
Anyhow, so this year, a local news anchor from out there, this young lady who had never ever played golf,
I did.
Won the lottery, dude.
Yeah.
So her first round of golf was at Augusta, dude. Talk about the golf gods.
That's wild.
Never has played golf. And her first round of golf was at Augusta the day after the Masters.
It's probably not a sport for us. It's for the men that the gods follow.
Dude, yeah.
It's one of those things, man. I've been just freaking trying to get tickets for the God knows how long. I can't even freaking get the damn tickets to the lottery, and I'm not about.
I just want to go watch people play there.
Yeah, no kidding, dude.
Play.
Yeah.
That's
Everybody's like, oh, just go through the reseller. I was like, fuck that. I'm not gonna spend that reseller money because it's ridiculous, dude.
Yeah. I could buy a house off that.
Especially for the Sunday tickets. Holy crap.
Hey, so Ralph, I really excited about next weekend.
Oh, heck yeah, dude. Yeah.
I'm really excited.
That's okay. That's perfect. All right. So that's how we're going to wind down this episode, guys. So what Hects is alluding to is that through the beauty of this brand, this community, as Raul says, that we've developed, we have a wonderful partnership and relationship with Blue Fire Brewing, and batch 3 of La Cheve kicks off next.
Is it 3 or is it 4, dude?
I think we're at 3.
Shit, I thought it was 6.
Well,
no,
okay.
It's 3. It's 3 because Tommy and I just talked about it. We were talking.
Yeah.
We went. So the iterations of La Cheve, it originally started off as what we'd call the Mexican and American lager.
Right.
And then the second batch was updated to a Kolsch, in which we're maintaining a Kolsch again, I believe, for batch 3. So, yeah.
Oh, we're sticking with. So it's gonna stick with Kolsch.
I believe so. We're gonna have conversations with Tommy the morning of, so we can make some adjustments if we want that day. So
I just think the lager was just so fucking popular that people liked it. It was a beautiful beer. Why fuck with it?
People like the Kolsch better.
Did it?
Yeah, it sold. I think it sold out faster.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well, that let's not get into that, but I also think a lot of people were evangelized on La Cheve. So I think that had a lot to do with it, man. Because and it wasn't because of us. Like, people just gave it fucking awesome reviews.
Yeah.
Well, no, I mean, I want to say it was a lot of. I want to say we did have a big part to do with it. You know, the promotion we put behind it and everything. I mean, fuck, they're serving it at the fucking Hilton Garden Inn in Carlsbad. You know, on tap.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You were telling us about
it's still going on. It's still going on because I still have connections with the property management, and they were telling me that they're run dry and they're waiting for the new batch to put it back in, and they have that. I mean, whatever. But yeah, it's still being served there. It's a popular fucking beer.
It is. So yeah, guys.
I'm excited.
It is a tasty
and I'm excited. I'm excited because batch 1, no matter what batch this is gonna be, I still think this is not batch 3. We're beyond that already. But regardless, me and you, we were there.
Yeah.
We made it by hand, and it fucking took off. Everybody fucking enjoys it. Everybody likes it. Raul, you gonna be there?
Not 100% sure, man, because you know how it is with the kids and baseball season. So I'm not 100% sure I'll be there. So TBD on that one.
I'm glad my girl's a princess and not into sports. Gives me a chance to do what I gotta do, or do what I want to do, pretty much.
You say that right now. Give her a year or two, dude. When some of her friends are doing it, she's gonna want to do it. Look, especially when it comes to Zoe, dude. She is not
I'm not gonna lie.
She's not into softball for the softball, man. She's in there for social hour with her girls, then she happens to play softball as well.
Right. So Sylvia tried putting Harley into fucking baseball, right? Off your recommendation, and Harley was like straight up like, no, I don't want to do that. And I said, why? I don't want to get sweaty.
Dude, especially at her age, the girls don't even care about anything except for the snack bag after the game.
Listen, Harley's a different breed, bro. Harley is a manifestation of a fucking true-born princess. That's what she is, and that's my fault. That is 100% my fault. I fucked up somewhat because I don't know. I like the path she's taking. You know, she's her doing her thing, and I'm encouraging it. You know, we're taking her. We want to encourage that dance that she wants to do, the singing that she wants to do. We're encouraging it, but so unfortunate that I could do. You know, we could go do this shit. I don't have another boy.
Maybe eventually you'll get her into golf, and then you don't have to worry anyway.
Oh no. By the way. So okay, so it was. I was trying to lead into the story earlier when they won Masters, and I text Lalo, and I'm like, yo, what the fuck? How is Bryson way up there? And he's like, slow down, bro. It's just day one. And I'm like, I know, but there's like a big gap, and I didn't expect.
He's all looking
Bryson
your first time.
No. I was like, that's a huge gap. You know, usually you would see that number and there's like 4 or 5 people up there. But it was just like a big gap, and I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And he's like, and he's like, I think it's Ram, and this is Lalo, sorry, but Lalo told me straight up, like, I think it's gonna be Ram or it's gonna be Shepard, you know? And I was like, well, I think it's gonna be Shepard, and I called it early on. I'm like, I think it's gonna be him. And if nobody believes me, I'll put up the fucking chat. I'll throw it on the web. This is it's documented. Anyway, so we were just chatting and shit, and fuck, I just let where the fuck was I going with the story? Oh, anyways, Lalo. We should probably wrap it up.
Forget Hects. All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Cut him off.
I'm telling you guys, this is how our conversations go, and why we had to record these. But thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe. If you're on Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you're getting your podcast, please go ahead and share. Because like we said, we're not, the professionals. We're not the aces of our industry or whatever, but we want to kind of shed light to other things that are going on in the world, and hopefully that could be a guiding light or path. So, as always, Salud, Golferos.
Peace.
Salud.